And now, a Federal Network special bulletin.
So first, I would just love to hear what it was like for you to revisit this memory. Just in general, did you miss playing Johnny Rico?
You know, Johnny Rico is something that people yell at me every day. They quotes and things like that, and people tell me, you know, it's why I joined the military. It's why I became a writer. It's just something I used to watch with my dad. My mom took us to this by accident, but I think she's just the coolest mom for doing that. So I've always had these things. So it's always been a part of my life. My kids have grown up with people yelling at me, just yelling quotes, and they do it with so much love and passion. So I absolutely love it. But then when off-road came and they said be a gaming world, they took Johnny Rico from when he first signs up for a girl and then becomes a great soldier and just does his job and knows what to do. And now he becomes a general. By this time he's gone up in rank and lost his rank and come back again. But now he's a general again, and he still wants to get the mission done, but he cares about his troopers more than anything. So I love that. I love the growth that he's had. And so they really honored it. They honored the world of Starship Troopers, and for me, it's just a thrill. So yes, I love it 100%.
Are you a big video game fan in general? Do you like to play in your free time?
I play a little bit of video games, but mostly when I'm with my daughter hanging out, we're gonna actually stream and play together Starship Troopers. But we played Valorant, and what was the other one we played, Grace? What was that?
Dead by Daylight.
Dead by Daylight. Yes, I played Dead by Daylight. I've done other shooting games before, but I know I'm going to get back into it with this because I'm just so excited about it. It's so much fun for me to be in this world.
And have you had a chance to check out the 1.0 version of the game yet?
Yes, I got to play a little bit. I also got to play in God mode. I don't know if I'm supposed to tell that. And that was, I kind of like it. I told them, you guys probably need to give me one of these things. Johnny Rico should have it.
What does God mode entail exactly?
He just doesn't die. He can kill all the bugs that way. But I think that's just for, they just do that when they're making the game. So I was just kidding. It's not a real God mode. But it's so fun.
Is there something that sticks out to you as particularly cool from the final release of the game?
So this release that they're doing, they did the pre-release, and they're going to have more coming out in a month, and then more coming out again. They have plans. They have like at least a 5-year plan right now, and it's amazing to see what they're doing. So, but I love that they've taken. They're huge fans. So I go up there and I meet all of them. They all have Starship Troopers T-shirts on. They're all really into the movie. All the movies actually. So they've taken all the constraints that they had in the subsequent movies, and they've added what we missed for them. So they've made it better. They've enhanced the bugs, made them better. They're all the bugs from all 5, plus new ones, new skins, new things. Just everything is just, you can see that they're real enthusiastic fans of gaming and the movie. And that just made for a beautiful marriage. I feel very part of it.
And story-wise, do you feel like Extermination touches on any of the sort of more allegorical commentary elements of the film, like on the military-industrial complex or propaganda, stuff like that?
You know, unfortunately today, that film still is politically, it still holds up, and maybe even more in this political climate. They touch on it in a way that still it's true to the film, so it's still satire, but they have a respect and a reverence for the players. It's an all-inclusive community, which is what Starship Troopers was in the movie itself. So there's no real bias in this. This is about together. General Johnny Rico, his journey now is, he still wants to get the mission done, but he cares more about the troopers. So the value of your people in there in the game, it's important. We need them to build the forts and do this. So I think it's a more positive in this way. The reinforcements in this, it's still a war game. You're still killing bugs and everything like that, but you are trying to work together with all these other people. And you're gonna die. You're gonna have these things. You're gonna have incredible bug experiences. And you come back as another trooper. So it's a good experience. It's not. I think they really. I like the way they do it. For me, it seems a lot more fun. It's exciting. It's exciting for me to do it. I went in and I was like, oh my god, I feel like I'm in the movie again.
When it comes to video game adaptations of movies, what do you feel are the most important things when it comes to bridging that gap between the two mediums?
I think that if you can stay true to the story and some aspects, and if you could make it look better, what they did in here, they made things that we couldn't do in 1997 possible. And they've added things. We can do these jumps in the uniform, the action uniform. They made them viable and workable. And they kept to the story, and they have some of the sense and sensibility, some of the humor that's still in the satire in it, and they brought in me, and they gave me a great arc for a character, and I felt really hooked. So I really went in and I would talk to the different people that were doing. They were doing all. I'm creating this. I'm creating this for you. I'm creating this, and they'd ask me questions about the movie. I tell them, well, I carved this in on my gun. Like, well, put that in. The little details that they did. But all these little details that they did that people don't even know, they've added that in. And to me, that's magic. And you take the time to respect the original IP so much so that you want to put in even more details. That, to me, shows that you really care. So there are people, they're very, Off-World's very family-oriented. Seems like they're just great. They all very well. They're really cool to go up and hang out with, and that I think is going to really make it more enjoyable for the players, the people that come in, because they're going to be like, well, these people really care about it. They really get it. They really want to do this, and you can see it from everything they do. They tell me, you know, the head developer, he went and saw Starship Troopers twice in the theaters in England. Yeah, he's like, I had no money then, I still had to see it. And you know, and everybody, they're like, I don't care. I've seen the movie 32 times, not just 2 times. But he only saw it twice in the theaters. But it's like, but you know, they're bragging, they're having fun, and to me, that's enthusiasm. And I think it really shows them, and it shows my. When I went up there, I saw the trailer. I was like, oh my god! I thought I was a kid in a candy store.
I'm sorry.
But
You mentioned a little bit, you know, getting these details about your character that the developers maybe didn't think of and they thought to add. In general, what was your experience like recording and contributing to this game? Did you have a lot of input in like how your character looked or anything like that?
you know, they made him look like me, so I think that's what my parents did, so they can give all credit to them. And then they made me look like me, which is incredible to see yourself even more cartoonish than you already are, you know. But when we got to do the lines together, I got in there and they credited a script. When I read the script, I went, oh, Ed Newmeyer, who wrote Starship Troopers and RoboCop and all the rest of the Starship Troopers universe, he would be very proud of the dialogue. I say more dialogue in this game than I did in Starship Troopers 1 and 3 combined. So I'm in this game, and they let me. I improv some things. Like, that was great, Casper. Hey, could you try with this? So we had so much fun. We played off of things. So we threw in a lot more improvisation. But we had a strict script that was really great, spot on. They really caught it, and we threw in a lot of quotes from the movie. So
What do you think for fans will really stick out to them, Easter egg, tiny detail wise, that they'll really appreciate?
Anybody that loves the film is going to love it. The Easter eggs in it that they have, I don't know what I can say without getting in trouble. But I do know that there's one time they showed me this thing. There's Starship Troopers 3, there's this funny scene. My introduction is somebody gets blown up and the shovel goes through a trooper. That's not fun. But in it, I pull the shovel out. And then I go, hey, trooper, give me a hand and pick up this foot. Or whatever it was. I don't really remember that. But they have a guy who was impaled by the shovel in there. You can take it out and you can fight some bugs with it. And they just told me that. So, I mean, they put in details like this that you wouldn't think of, and it's not in every game, you know. And they have the knives, they have all the details. They also have the thing they told me about that Seth Gilliam, who plays Sugar Watkins in it, who's on The Walking Dead, as the creature in that. He's a good friend of mine. He doesn't know this yet, so I'm going to announce it here. He at the end nukes the bugs and says, like, what are you doing? He goes, I'm just trying to kill some bugs, sir. And what it does is they have now the what is it called? The Watkins
trigger.
The Watkins trigger. The Watkins trigger. So if somebody's going to die, they can blow themselves up, and they do the Watkins trigger. So they do triggers to the whole movie like this. I mean, the details you don't even know. It's so surreal. And they have all the different guns. They try to make them look everything like that. They've added things onto it in different songs. They have the death from above on some helmets. They have different skins you can wear. They have. It's so. I'm just so overwhelmed with how and blown away by what they've done. I can't wait for the fans to see it. It's something that everybody's going to be like, thank you for really respecting us.
For players who aren't necessarily super familiar with Starship Troopers, what about this game do you think should still entice them to try it over another squad-based shooter type game?
Well, first of all, it is about teamwork. It is working together. So if you want to do that, if you want to get a camaraderie going with a whole bunch of people, you've got it in here. But this game is there's been so many games that were inspired by Starship Troopers. And even if they haven't seen the IP, they love these different games. They'll be like, wow, this is such a great game. This is what it was based off of. So these guys are all like a whole bunch of nerds and geeks that wanted to make a movie that inspired like Halo and Helldivers, or just so many different games that this is what inspired those games that everybody loves. Come in and now you're playing in that universe, and it's done by fans like that. So it's I think it'd be something that if they didn't play it, they'd be missing out on a huge opportunity to be respected as a gamer.
With our combined efforts, these bugs are no match for us.